build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
All right, my beautiful people, thanks so much for tuning in. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's ERGJ, your certified financial educator from ERGJ Enterprise, and we are back with the new Black Wall Street book club. We're going through the book, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. We're on law number 10, and we'll be going through this today. This episode is brought to you by True Detergent. That's right, True Detergent, Black-owned and manufactured detergent right here in the Atlanta area. We're making deliveries to your doorstep in Atlanta. Give us a call at 678-851-2400. Again, that's 678-851-2400. It's a 101-ounce bottle for $15. I mean, it's 15 cents per wash. Go ahead and get your True today. Make the switch. What's going on, Justin? What's going on, Wendy B in the building? Club Millie representing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, so here's what we got going on, man. Club Millie, our presentations go back on the roll on Wednesday and Thursday. So if you're a person that's saying, hey, I want more information about this thing you call Club Millie, this place where you're helping 1,000 people save and invest $1,000, and I might be interested. Of course, you're just interested in being one of those one. Well, you can go ahead and sign up and make sure that you're in one of our presentations this Wednesday or this Thursday. This is a place where you can ask all your questions and you can see the vision in full. But hey, you might be a person that said, hey, I'm ready to act. I'm ready to make something happen right now. I'm ready to move forward. Well, you can go to www.ergj.net, scroll down to the membership section, and go ahead and make your $20 decision today. Here's the deal, guys. $20 decision can change your life, change your financial life forever. And here's the deal, man. If you can't make a $20 decision, you're not prepared to make a $20,000 decision or a $2 million decision. So go ahead and make the switch. Go ahead and make your decision today, or sign up and make sure you get all the information that you need to make an informed decision. Good morning, Wallace. How are you, sir? We also got a couple things coming up tonight. We're going to be meeting. It's Valentine's Day, and we're going to be talking about how we can profit on what other people are going to do anyway. You're going to buy the chocolate. You're going to take your boo out to eat. You're going to get them some jewelry. Well, we're going to be looking at companies to see which companies benefit the most from Valentine's Day, from all of the spending on this holiday. You know that holidays are made for you to spend, right? I hope you realize that. Like, holidays were created for you to spend money. Like, they may have to make it a party to get broke people to spend more money. But that's what it is. So you guys continue to spend. I'm going to be finding ways to invest. You can let money flow through your hands. I'm going to be finding ways to make money come to me. And the whole group at Club Millie, that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to talk about how we can make money or profit in the short term, this seasonal time, off what people are going to do anyway. So you don't want to miss that. That's going to be a Valentine's Day session tonight at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow we're going to be going through, the Valentine's Day session. That's especially good for you guys if you are short-term traders. If you are swing traders, day traders, anything like that, you want to be in that session because we're going to be looking at short-term patterns, something that you can make a quick dollar, make a quick flip in a short amount of time. Now, we got a Dow 30 coming up tomorrow as well. We're going to be meeting at 8 o'clock to go through the 30 most significant stocks in America. That's right. We're talking about Nike, Apple, Walmart, Disney. If you're a person saying, I don't know anything about stocks, I don't know anything about investing, but I want to know, then you need to be in this session. This is for the beginners. We're going to be going slow. You're going to be able to answer your questions and get everything answered that you need as we go through. This is going to be a week by week thing because your learning has to be consistent. Everybody put in the comments below consistent. What's going on, Wallace? How are you, man? Cookie Price in the building. You have to be consistent in your learning. I did not learn this stuff in 1 hour. I did not learn this stuff in 1 week. You need to be, if you want to learn how to make your money work for you, you want to do something different, you got to make a commitment to yourself that you're going to self-educate yourself. And self-education takes a little bit more practice. All it really takes is consistency. And here's the wonderful thing about it, guys. You get to be around other people who are talking about money. How many of you guys wish that you had people that you could talk to about money? You have people you can talk to about business. Everybody that's around you is on some humbug. But you can be around people who really talk about progressing and pushing forward the agenda. That's what you got the opportunity to do when you join us at Club Millie. And then we also have an opportunity for your children. That's right. This Saturday, the thing that I love to do, what my heart is about the kids. It's about the next generation. So we're going to be teaching kids about the stock market as well. This is something I've been doing for 3 to 5 years right now. And I had the opportunity to be able to present to your children a little bit about the stock market to start to whet their appetite. It says in the good book, train a child in the way in which he should go and will not depart from it. And here's the deal. We got to start teaching our kids how to make money smarter and not harder. Again, let me say that again. We got to teach our children how to make money smarter, but not harder. And so that's what we're going to be teaching the kids. So if you have a child in grades 4 through 9 and you want them to start to understand this thing called money, this thing called investing, the thing about making your money work harder for you, then you work hard for your money. You want to go get them signed up for that as well. And of course, if you're in Club Millie, all that stuff is included in your membership. So you can join club, or you can pay for our services. That's just what it is. And I'm no shame in what I got to say. Anyway, let's go ahead and get it, man. So we're going through the 48 laws of power, man. Here's the deal. This book is very controversial. I understand it. Some of these laws, you're like, whoa. But here's the deal. Today, you're going to be very, very, this is what you need today. And here's the deal, man. What we're doing is we're learning strategy. Everybody put in the comments below strategy. We're learning strategies on that we can apply in our life, or at the very least, we want to understand when they're being applied upon us. And so that way we can move from a position of weakness to a position of power. And so there are 48 laws that we're going through this book, and we're on law number 10. I know you don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time. It's time. It's time. Let's get it. Law number 10, infection. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. Here's your judgment for this power. I'm sorry, for this law. You can die from someone else's misery. Woo! You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you're only precipitating your own disaster. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on them. How many guys know people who won't get out of their own way? They are their own worst enemy. They're always broke, busted, and disgusted because they continue to make broke, busted, and disgusted decisions, and they blame everybody else except the man in the mirror. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves. They will also draw it on you. Associate with the happy and fortunate instead. Everybody put in the comments below, happy and fortunate. Let me say that again, happy and fortunate. You want to be around people who are happy and who are fortunate. And hey, I know the great place for you to find those people. That's in Club Millie. That's right. The top 5% of our community are in Club Millie. So you got the happy and the fortunate. If you want to move away from the 90% of people who are unhappy and unlucky, then you need to move on over to Club Millie, where you're going to find some happy people and you're going to find some fortunate people. It said fortune favors the bold. And these are the bold people who decided they're going to do something different this year, and they're going to make their money work for them. Now, here are your keys to the power. Hey, Ron in the building. I thought you were going at 6, man. It's 6:13. You decided to give me one more shot. Okay, I got you. Here are your keys to power. Here are your keys to power. Those misfortunate among us have been brought down by circumstances beyond their control, deserve all the help and sympathy that we can give them. Let me repeat that again. Those misfortunates among us who have been brought down by circumstances beyond their control deserve all the help and sympathy we can give them. But there are others. But there are others who are not born to misfortune or unhappiness, but who draw it upon themselves by their destructive actions and unsettling effect on others. How many of you guys know some people who are just dysfunctional? They are destructive. They have destructive actions and have unsettling effect, and it impacts everybody. I mean, how many of you guys have been in a place like you guys are maybe at a party or something, right? You just jigging with it. You just enjoying the time. Everybody's sipping on a little sip, having a little time. Then that one person walks in the room and changes the whole atmosphere. You're like, man, they can't come and ruin the party. They're party poopers. They're Debbie Downers. They just bring the rain. Everybody having the sunshine, but they bring the cloud. They bring the rain. There's some people who just are destructive in their actions, and they have an unsettling effect on others. And hopefully that's not you. I mean, you need to do a real check in the mirror to make sure that you're not the person that woke up this morning with a frown on your face. You're the person that didn't wake up this morning with a bad attitude. You didn't roll over out the wrong side of the bed as if the right side or the left side are different from one another. Hopefully I'm talking to some people who are happy and fortunate. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hand. Hey, oh, I'm sorry, I lost my page. Let me get back to what we were talking about. Woo! I'm fired up this morning, guys. All right. It would be a great thing if we could raise them up, change their patterns, but more often than not, it is their patterns that end up getting inside and changing us. The reason is simple. Humans are extremely susceptible to the moods, emotions, and even the ways of thinking of those of whom they spend their time. Let me repeat that again. Humans are extremely susceptible to the moods, the emotions, and even the ways of thinking of those of whom they spend their time. Have you ever found yourself being around the wrong person? You start feeling bad just because you're around them? And you might be thinking, man, what is wrong with this person? But then you start to feel bad. You start to have these crazy thoughts. You start to think these crazy things, and you realize, I got to get away from this person. I mean, you would hope that your will is strong enough to change them, but more often than not, they end up changing you. The incurable, unhappy, and unstable. I want to listen. The incurable, unhappy. That's one part, being unhappy. But the other part is those who are unstable. They drift. They're up and down. They're emotionally unstable. They have no security in their life. They're tossed to and fro with any situation that happens. They're just unstable in all of their ways. Now, but I think the Bible says the double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. They Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They're Bruce, whatever his name is, and Incredible Hulk. You know what I mean? Like, can you just be consistent in who you are? I don't know who you are from day to day. Unstable. They have a particularly strong infecting power because their characters are emotions, and emotions are so intense. They often present themselves as victims, making it difficult at first to see their miseries as self-inflicted. Before you realize the real nature of their problems, you have been infected by them. Understand this. In the game of power, the people you associate with are critical. In the game of power, the people you associate with are critical. So that leads me to ask you this question. Who are you associating with? Are you associating with the unhappy and the unlucky, and you find your life to be full of unhappiness and unluckiness? Or are you associating with the people who are happy and fortunate? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. The risk of associating with infectors is that you will waste valuable time and energy trying to free yourself. Through a kind of guilt by association, you will also suffer in the eyes of others. Never underestimate the dangers of infection. Now, I got to ask you guys, and just be honest with yourself. Have you been infected by those who are unhappy and unlucky? Have you been brought down from being your best self because you've been infected by this virus, this disease, this sickness of depression and this sickness and the disease of unhappiness, this sickness and this disease of unluckiness? Or have you been infected by this joy? Have you been infected by hope? Have you been infected by love? Have you been infected by faith? Have you been infected by belief? Have you been infected by opportunity? What's infecting you? What is infecting you? What's having the biggest impact on you? Those who are unlucky and unhappy, or those who are happy and who are fortunate? There are many kinds of infector to be aware of, but one of the most insidious is the sufferer from chronic dissatisfaction. Cassius, the Roman emperor, a conspirator against Julius Caesar, had the discontent that comes from deep envy. He simply could not endure the presence of anyone of greater talent. Probably because Caesar sensed the man's interminable sourness, he passed him up for the position of first praetorship and gave the position to Brutus instead. Cassius brooded and brooded. His hatred for Caesar became pathological. Brutus himself, a devoted Republican, disliked Caesar's dictatorship. Had he had the patience to wait, he would have become the first man in Rome after Caesar's death, and could have undone the evil the leader had wrought. But Cassius infected him with his own rancor, bending his ear daily with tales of Caesar's evil. He finally won Brutus over to the conspiracy. It was the beginning of great tragedy. How many misfortunes could have been avoided had Brutus learned to fear the power of infection? And here's the deal, man. What we're saying here is that, say you are in a position of power, say you are the leader of an organization, say you are a boss, and you've got this vice president. You've got, this happens in church a lot. Let me say, oh yeah, oh, I'm going there today. This happens in church a lot. You've got the pastor, and then you got the youth minister who's up and coming, right? And the youth minister has been infected by the people that follow him and his youth ministry, and they don't like the pastor. So now all of the little minions, they talk to the youth minister, and then now it's all this rancor going on in between the ranks. And eventually the youth pastor starts to believe all these bad things about the pastor. And what do you know? What happens next? They go start another church. So the church can't continue to grow and build because you got all these little minions who see one thing wrong with the pastor, and they talk about that one thing. But they don't focus on all the good things that the pastor may do, and then they end up infecting the right person, and that right person leaves that church to go start another church. So if you want to know why there are so many churches in the black community, it's all because of pride and ego. One person said, hey, I don't like the way you're doing this one thing. I'm going to go start a church, another church. I'm going to take all my little minions with me, and we're going to start a church over here right down the street because we're going to do this one thing different. And then what happens there? The same thing happens to him. Okay, you started your church. Now you got a little youth pastor coming up. He gets infected by some minions. And then those minions and that youth pastor say, you know what? I don't like what you're doing there. And you're doing one bad thing here. So we're going to go start another church right around the corner. And we're going to have our own thing. This is what's happening in the church. Yeah, this is what's happening. It is all about power. Who wants the power? And also who is infected by this disease of unhappy and unlucky. Woo! I told you I'm ready to go win today. There's only one solution to infection. There's only one solution to this infection, and it's called quarantine. It's called quarantine. But by the time you recognize the problem, it is often too late. Alola Montez overwhelms you with her forceful personality. Cassius, he intrigues you with his confiding nature and the depth of his feelings. How can you protect yourself against such insidious viruses? How can you protect yourself? She said in marriage. Oh my goodness. He said there's not a relationship. How can you protect yourself from such insidious viruses? The answer lies in judging people on the effects they have on the world and not on the reasons they give off for their problems. Here's the deal. You want to judge a tree by the fruit that it bears, right? So it's saying that here's how you can protect yourself against these unhappy and these unlucky people. The key is that you want to judge these people on the effects that they have on the world. The effects, everybody put in the comments below, effects. You want to judge them on the effects that they have in the world. In other words, like if I wanted to date someone, right, I want to see what kind of effect this woman is having on the rest of the world, right? Does she lift people up or does she put people down? Is she always in the mall talking about people, or is she over at some community service thing trying to lift some kids up? What effect is this woman having on the rest of the world? The effects. There are some, I'm not talking about, I'm just saying, I'm a man, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about women. There are some women who are just, they just complain. They're never happy. I don't want that type of woman. You're never happy. If you can't be happy single, there's no way you're gonna be, I'm gonna be able to make you happy, because I'm not in the business of making you happy. I'm in the business of complimenting your happiness. Okay, all right. Anyway, I don't know why I went there. People on the effects they have in the world, and you don't want to judge them on the reasons they give for their problems. Everybody that has a problem has found a reason for their problem, or in essence, they found an excuse not to find a solution. Let me repeat that again. Your problems, or the problems that people have, most people find reasons for their problems, and that gives them an excuse to not look for a solution. I think I need to repeat that one more time. People with their problems, they find a reason for their problems, which gives them the excuse of why they're not looking for solutions. They like misery. Misery loves company. They want to pull somebody down with them so they can have a pity party, and they can really have a pity party, like a big old party, like a slumber party. They want a pity party. Everybody that's broke, busted, and disgusted, come on down to my house and we're gonna party together. No. We're not gonna look for ways to get rich. We're not gonna look for ways to deal with this pain. We're just gonna drag our way into a slumber. They don't want solutions. They can't even recognize solutions when they come. All they know is what the problem is. And they want to find other like-minded people, right? Other like-minded people are people who are focusing on the problem. So they take the little word out of the book or the Bible, and they say only associate with like-minded people. So as long as you got the same problem that I have, and we're both focusing on our problem, we're not focusing on a solution, then we're like-minded. So we need to hang out together, and then we're going to call on the Lord as if the Lord is going to bless us, even though we're not looking for solutions. Even though the good book tells us that we should ask and we should receive. If we knock, then the door will be open to us. If we seek, then we'll find. But we're not seeking solutions. No, we're seeking other people who have the same problems that we have, that we can focus on the problem and never find a solution. Whew. I don't know what just came out of me, guys. That was for somebody. Let me get back to the book. Y'all don't get me in trouble. I'm going to Facebook jail today. All right. Infectors can be recognized by the misfortune they draw on themselves, their turbulent past, their long line of broken relationships, their unstable careers, and the very force of their character, which sweeps you up and makes you lose your reason. Let me repeat this again, man. This is good stuff. They can be recognized. Here's how you can recognize an infector. Here's how you can recognize a virus. Here's how you can recognize a person that you want to walk away from. When I say walk away from the 90%, this is who I'm talking about. If you want to leave that road of despair, you got to walk away from the 90%. How do you recognize them? By the misfortune they draw on themselves, their turbulent past, their long line of broken relationships. Like every relationship was somebody else's fault. They had nothing to do with why the relationship didn't go out, didn't continue. It was his fault. It was her fault. I did nothing wrong in a relationship. It was his fault. It was her fault. And their unstable careers. They can't keep a job. They always getting fired. They always late. They don't even realize why they're getting fired from the job. It's always the employer's fault. It's always someone else's fault why they can't keep that job, why they got fired today, why they were in the first wave of being laid off. But they never looked at the fact that they never would come to work on time. They never looked at the fact that they always called out. They never looked at the fact they were late from lunch every day. It was always someone else's fault. They always put the blame on someone else, and they have a hard time looking at the mirror and smiling themselves. The unhappy and the unlucky walk away from the 90%. Which sweeps you up and makes you lose your reason. Be forewarned by these signs of an infector. Learn to see the discontent in their eye. Be forewarned about the infector. Learn to see the discontent in their eye. I've gotten good at this, guys. I can see it a mile away. I'll be like, and when you hear me put in the comments, obviously I say something like run, Forrest, run. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, don't even have a conversation with these people. These are the type of people. Okay, let me make it easy for you because we're on Facebook. Let me make it easy for you. You want to know a good sign for you to know an infector? This is the person who has been following you for quite some time. They look at all your stuff. They look at all your posts. They might even like the stuff. You know they're watching them. And the one time you put something up that they don't agree with, that's when they comment. This is an infector. This is the person that's stirring discontent. This is a person that you want to ignore. You want to walk away. They couldn't say anything about all the good stuff that you was posting. They couldn't like any of the good stuff when you're trying to uplift people. But as soon as you say something that they do not agree with, that's when they want to comment. That's when they want to, provide their opinion. And you're like, I've been talking about this stuff for ages, but now you want to come onto my page and show your opinion. Okay, I'm going to either unfriend, I'm going to unfollow. One of those things has to happen here because clearly you are a person that is stirring discontent. You are a person that is unhappy. You are a person that's unlucky. And I've decided in my life that I'm going to walk away from the 90%. I'm going to walk away from infections. I'm going to walk away from diseases. I'm going to walk away from cancer. I'm going to walk away from viruses in my life. You are a virus. That's what you are. Woo! Honey. All right. Most important of all, do not take pity. Do not enmist yourself in trying to help. The infected will remain unchanged, but you will be unhinged. The other side of infection is equally valid and perhaps more readily understood. There are people who attract happiness to themselves by their good cheer, natural buoyancy, and intelligence. There are people who attract to themselves happiness by their good cheer. Everybody put in the comments below good cheer. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Are you happy today? Your good cheer, your natural buoyancy. Now, you might not be able to spell that. You might want to try to put that in the comments below. That's a little bit hard word to spell. Let's see if anybody can get it right. Your good cheer, your natural buoyancy, and your intelligence. Look at that. Those three qualities right there can attract happiness into your life. Your good cheer, just being happy that you woke up this morning. Just like, thank you, Lord, I'm still here. I still got an opportunity. I still got a chance to change my life. I still got a chance to impact others. I still have an opportunity today to go do something that's going to change the world. What are you going to do today, Pinky? The same thing we do every day, Pinky. Try and take over the world. Be of good cheer. Have some fun. Enjoy your life. I know it may not be going the way that you wanted to go, but here's the deal, guys. Most often than not, we put ourselves in the position that we're in. And guess what? If I put myself in it, I'm going to find a way to get myself out. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's easy to fall, but it's a little bit harder to climb. But you got to be willing to climb. And what I'm saying is, while you are climbing, get around people who are happy and who are fortunate, and that'll make the climb that much easier. You see what I'm saying? I mean, think about it like a track running a track, right? And you got a 400-meter dash or something. You got a 4x4 relay or something, right? It's so much easier to push forward when you know you got to give that baton to somebody else. It's a little bit hard when you're just running by yourself and trying to get to the finish line. But you know, they're depending on me, and I'm depending on them. And I got to get to them as quickly as possible to pass the baton. And guess who you're passing that baton to? Guess who you're passing that baton to? That baton is being passed to the next generation, to your child, to your grandchild. That's why you're running the race. It's not for you. It's for them. Whew, they are a source of pleasure, and you must associate with them to share in their prosperity they draw upon themselves. This applies to more than good cheer and success. All positive qualities can infect us. All positive qualities can infect us. And this is why I say that when it rains, it pours. That may be true, but it doesn't always have to be bad rain. It could be good rain too, because when you start gaining momentum, when it rains, it starts to pour. When money starts to flow into your bank account, it starts to pour. You know what I'm saying? And when it rains, it pours. And you want to be on the good side of the rain. You want to be on the side of the rain where there's a rainbow that comes after the cloud, not lightning. Oh my goodness, that's an ERGJ original. You want to be on the side of the cloud that when it finishes raining, here comes the rainbow and not the lightning. All right. Talleyrand had many strange and intimidating traits, but most agreed that he surpassed all Frenchmen in graciousness, aristocratic charm, and wit. Indeed, he came from one of the oldest noble families in the country, and despite his belief in democracy and the French Republic, he retained his courtly manners. His contemporary Napoleon was in many ways the opposite, a peasant from Corsica, taciturn and ungracious, even violent. There was no one Napoleon admired more than Talleyrand. He envied his minister's way with people, his wit, and his ability to charm women. And as best he could, he kept Talleyrand around him, hoping to soak up the culture he lacked. There's no doubt that Napoleon changed as his rule continued. Many of the rough edges were smoothed by his constant association with Talleyrand. Use the positive side of this emotional osmosis to your advantage. Use the positive side of this law to your advantage. If, for example, you are miserly by nature, You will never go beyond a certain limit. Only generous souls attain greatness. Let me put this in the comments below. Only generous souls attain greatness. Only generous souls attain greatness. Associate with the generous. Then they will infect you, opening up everything that is tight and restricted in you. If you are gloomy, gravitate to the cheerful. If you are prone to isolation, force yourself to befriend the gregarious. Never associate with those who share your defects. Never associate with those who share your defects. They will reinforce everything that holds you back. Only create associations with positive affinities. Make this a rule of life, and you will benefit more from this than all the therapy in the world. Repeat this again. Never associate with those who share your defects. They will reinforce everything that holds you back. Only create associations with positive affinities. Make this a rule of life, and you will benefit more from this than all of the therapy in the world. Here's your image. Here's your image of the infector. The infector is like a virus. Unseen, it enters your pores without warning, spreading silently and slowly. Before you are aware of the infection, it is deep inside of you. And here's your authority of the day. Recognize the fortunate so that you may choose their company, and the unfortunate so that you may avoid them. Misfortune is usually the crime of folly or silliness or idiocracy, right? And among those who suffer from it, there is no malady more contagious. Never open your door to the least of misfortunes, for if you do, many others will follow in its train. Do not die of another person's misery. And I want to go back to our beginning where we talked about the judgment. I think this is very important. We want to drive this point home today. You can die from someone else's misery. You can die from someone else's misery. What all this saying, guys, is that if you subject yourself to someone else's stress, you will begin to find yourself stressed out. If you subject yourself to someone else's stress, you will begin to find yourself stressed out. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't try to help people who happen to have some misfortune in their life, who happen to grow up on the wrong side of the tracks, who happen to have something that they didn't cause upon themselves. But we're talking about the people who continue to bring misery into their life. And you begin to recognize that this is this person's own fault. And until they are ready to change, they won't change. Now, they can watch me from afar. I can indirectly have an impact on their life. They can watch me on Facebook Live and YouTube Live and all this stuff, and hopefully I have a positive impact on their life. But as far as them being in my house, being right next to me, I'm walking away from the unlucky and the unhappy. Well, this is law number 10 of 48 Laws of Power, man. Hopefully you got a lot out of this today. This is something I believe that you should absolutely apply into your life, because it's all about who you choose to associate with. You can choose to associate with the 90%. You can choose to associate with the broke, busted, and disgusted. You can choose to hang out where misery loves company, or you can make a decision to walk away from the 90% and start hanging out with the 10%. The 10% who are happy about building. The 10% who is looking forward to more fortune coming into their lives. The 10% who are talking about the solutions and saying, forget the problems. If we find a solution, then the problem will go away. You can choose that today. And one of those places is Club Millie. That's right. That's a place where we're helping 1,000 people save and invest $1,000 this year. And you can actually be one of those 1,000 if you choose to make a $20 decision a day. You can go to www.ergj.net. You can find that information around the website and where you go to membership. But then also you can scroll on down to recommended reads, and you can get a book like this where you can follow along with us as we are in our new Black Wall Street book club. Well, hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by True Detergent. That's right, black owned and manufactured right here in the Atlanta area. We're doing free delivery to your doorstep in the Atlanta area. Give us a call at 678-851-2400. Again, that's 678-851-2400. 101 ounce bottle, $15, meaning it's 15 cents per wash. And here's the deal. You are going to wash your clothes anyway. Why not get detergent from your Black-owned brothers and sisters and practice what you preach all the time, which is group economics and circulating the black dollar. Well, hey guys, it's true detergent. Make the switch. Well, I'm ERGJ, your certified financial educator. We got a lot of opportunity up there in the comments. I've already talked about that. Just click on something, show up to what you want to show up to, and we'll be right there talking about how we can make our money work for us. We got plenty of opportunities for you to learn how to make your money work for us, but it's going to be up to you to come join us at the kitchen table where we're changing the conversation and we're talking about money. This is ERGJ, your certified financial educator from ERGJ Enterprises and founder of the New Black Wall Street. Remember this, guys. It takes a village, but it starts with us. Let's build wealth together as we climb together. And we got, who do we have with us? The happy and the fortunate.
The New Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We'll see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.